$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, Minister of the Covenant, breaker of 7 seals. Okay, brothers, this is a follow-up of yesterday. You know, one might ask themselves, why don't they want $5,000? Why don't they want $5,000? Because what they're saying is that Farrakhan's legitimate. He's the natural leader of the nation of Islam, right? He's following his messenger and following the God. So that's true. That's easy, $5,000. Yet Farrakhan hasn't done it. His son hasn't done it. His daughter ain't done it. His wife ain't done it. None of his sycophants have done it. None of his enemies have done it. And no one has done it. It's been out there for a while, quite not even a peep. Why? You don't want $5,000? Because they want me to shut up, because they always trying to counter what I'm saying. So why don't they step forward to get this? Do it in a public way. I said we'll do it publicly. Public forum, and go for it. Win-win for you, because you get $5,000 if you're right, and you get me to shut up, or you prove to the world I'm just lying. If I was one of them, I could use that $5,000. I'll tell you something right there, and they are aware of this. They are aware of it. Ask them when they lie about everything else. They're aware of this. Let me move on, brothers and sisters. There are a couple of things. I'm going to get right into it, brothers and sisters. It's going to be a fairly short presentation because I want to point out 2 things. I have to focus on this situation by silence, because I wasn't going to say anything, but since they said I can't let it ride because it's too important. Like I said, they're blocking the light, and I see this as something actually trying to block, so I have to make sure that doesn't happen. Right. And I'll get back to finish it off where I started for the week. Here we go.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Oh boy, the most grievous chastisement for these, most grievous, that's worse. Anything you can think of is worse than that. Because it's unprecedented. The chastisement that nobody's ever seen before. That's the store for them. And according to that line, the rat up top corner, the one that we're going to hear from today, from Sunday, right? according to him, it's going to happen very soon. Somebody need to tell Farrakhan to pass message to them, because God told him to be quiet, and they his little, dummies, you have a ventriloquist. So it only speaks, the dummy only speaks when ventriloquist, so the ventriloquist has to be quiet. The dummy don't speak anymore. So why are they still speaking? Because they claim they speaking for Elijah, speaking for Farrakhan. That's what they claim. So in other words, if he's incapacitated, they're speaking, and who are they speaking for? Because they should be speaking about current events, right? If they were speaking, they should be speaking about things he said in the past. If he's told to be quiet, they should be speaking anything going forward. If he said, because he had nothing to say, they should be speaking. But now they're trying to address current day. And like I said, somebody needs to tell him that prophecy is about things that's going to happen, not things already happened as you elaborate on or, addressing. So it's all confusion over there. But the bottom line, if God told him to shut up and they his spokespeople, they shouldn't be talking either. Because where are they getting it from? They didn't get it from him because he's supposed to be shut up. So that means they can't be representing him, because unless he's lying, he don't step forward. Oh, they might have heard me for a year. Why is that? Oh, I did tell a year ago that you wouldn't hear from him anymore. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. They was looking around for a replacement. One of the ones that was sitting on Dr. Wesley, and an unknown female, yet to be named female. Those are the ones of consideration. I don't know since then. They run around scrambling trying to figure what's happening. There's one thing they know for sure. They got to get some money. Because Farrakhan do like Elijah did. Elijah left all that money and believe his name, which they stole, ripped off, and left us with nothing. Farrakhan's never apologized for that, and he never returned that money. Meanwhile, stole, ripped off the nation, liquidated everything, got rid of all the properties and everything. People lost their jobs. Like Farrakhan missed that. People went crazy. People lost jobs. People went back to prison. Everything else. And he didn't stand up to help them. He just took that money and ran. So did Ishmael's mama and all of them. And that's what he did. That's a fact. So anyway, they're in trouble. They'll see, and it will. See, they're really just going back and say, for the future. Watch the weather. Well, that's very interesting, very detailed, right? No details. Talk of the hour. They write one thing very soon. They're trying to cover their ass. But they don't know what to say. Like I said, and the thing is, they know that Farrakhan departs because he got all that money. His name is in his son's name. They're already multimillionaires. Well, we don't have a business anywhere. And his son's a cop, too. And he's Supreme Cabinet of Islam. How does that work? Chicago Police Department. I think it's Chicago, maybe it's Illinois. If Farrakhan was to go, everything was shut down. They depend, especially Ishmael, they all depend upon that money, little stipend that Farrakhan gives them. When it goes down, everything shuts down. It's not going to happen that way, but that's what would happen if he would go right now. If it shut down, they'd be out in the cold. So they got to try to figure out a way to get around it. They got people come in. So they said, anybody wants to come in. You're a devil, come. You ain't no devil. You're my brother. You my, but sorry, he ain't heavy, my brother. He ain't a heavy, he ain't devil. He my brother. They got devils in FY uniforms, MGT, anybody. See, they're open up into like a cosmopolitan organization like NSCP. Just as long as you bring that money in. See, devil ain't devil no more. We love you. Just come on in. The Americans. Because that's what it's about. If you listen carefully, that's what it's about. Trying to figure out how to keep that money coming in. When that stops, that's the end of them. That's what it's all about. Maybe we'll move on, brothers and sisters. I'll play a couple of things. One of these I have a hard time sitting watching. Ooh, ooh. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna play these couple of things, and if you pay attention to them, read this, brothers and sisters. Everything exposes Farrakhan who he is. So yes, well, how those people with him? Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Section 1, Fundamental Principles of Islam. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. 1. I, Allah, am the best knower. 2. This book, there is no doubt in it, is a guide to those who keep their duty. 3. Who believe in the unseen and keep up prayer and spend out of what we have given them. 4. And who believe in that which has been revealed to thee and that which was revealed before thee, and of the hereafter they are sure.
There it is. That's the Quran. That's Allah's talking. Says the best knower. It says you have to believe. It says no doubt you have to believe in the Quran, guarantee and before and the Bible. But they say have a problem with the Bible. Well, they take it up with Allah. 'Cause he says, hey, you have to believe both of them. Now, obviously, we know there's bad translations, but the manuscripts are there. Manuscripts are there. And you got transliteral translations, or people just translate directly, like the so-called Jehovah's Witness Bible. They do a translate, and that's good, except for they threw that name Jehovah in there, but that's incorrect. They translate it like it's supposed to be translated. They translate Allah. That's where you say it in Aramaic. They don't want to call themselves Allah's witnesses. That's the one flaw in that one. Otherwise, I've examined it, and it's right. It's consistent with the manuscripts, except to the point where it's talking about Jesus. That name is not in the manuscripts, not there. Let's move on, brothers and sisters.
(174). Those who conceal aught of the book that Allah has revealed and take for it a small price, they eat nothing but fire into their bellies, and Allah will not speak to them on the day of resurrection, nor will he purify them, and for them is a painful chastisement. 175. Those are they who buy error for guidance and chastisement for forgiveness. How bold they are to challenge the fire. 176. That is because Allah has revealed the book with truth. And surely those who disagree about the book go far in opposition.
Okay, brothers and sisters. They still order the book. They do all the time. They don't mention it. You ever heard mention Joshua? Never. They mention the covenant? Never. They say Elijah, eternally in the nation of Islam. That's no. It says the message of the covenant suddenly come through his temple. They never mention the covenant. It's right there in Malachi where they talk about Elijah. And they never mention the covenant either. What's the covenant? He's mentioned the covenant. Mention what covenant? Look at the covenant. They don't mention the covenant either. They mention the division part, the horror part, but the reward part, they don't mention it. So, why? And they read it. Just don't read that part. So they can seal in that part. So there you go. A lot of talking again. Watch this sickening display. It's sickening. I have time watching it, brothers and sisters. I may not be able to do the whole thing, but this is sickening. This is truly sickening.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Pfleger as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. and Mustafa maybe 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you.
One more time, brother.
Sick. Does it represent Elijah? Mass promise anyway. $5,000 show me that's consistent. Anything Elijah said, Mass promise said. Anything. Look at the lessons. Totally opposite. 100% wicked. Don't have anything to do with it. Don't have any part of social equality. Now he's our family, brother. See, when he said, oh, they're not demons anymore, the devils anymore, see, people thought, oh, we just want to call them that. They devils, but we just want to be polite. No, they meant that. That's Core Elijah's message. Shows what enemies are. The devils. Period. Okay, let's play this, brothers and sisters. And get to the main subject.
3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. 5. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold, therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. 6. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth.
That's some heavy stuff, brothers and sisters. Heavy stuff there. He ain't playing. I'm gonna kick ass. I don't know about taking names, but he coming. Well, is that Farrakhan's message? Because he's supposed to be a Sikh. God, right? But that's what God's message is. Downside Farrakhan's message. What's going on, brothers and sisters? We're going to talk about this little couple of things that he mentioned. One thing, like I said, one thing he mentioned I wasn't going to speak on. I was going to keep that quiet. It's silence. I spoke about it a year ago. I spoke about it several times in the last couple of years. And I forgot to put it in there. The link, but if you look at the previous presentation, there's a link to one I did about a year ago. It's silence. I got to put it in today, so I'm gonna leave it there. But maybe next time maybe I do redo and put a bunch of them in there because there's a bunch of them out there. You can't say this is not like Farrakhan. Watch the weather. Right? You think all the answers after the fact. No. I talk about this silence. I said when it would take place. Take place, right just before the sixth seal. When sixth seal and all hell breaks loose. Right after the fifth seal. Fifth seal is right when Syria is taken down. There'd be a silence. Pause. Right there. I want to speak to it, but they mentioned it. So I don't know what provoked them to mention that. Right? So, but they got it all screwed up. And my job, right, to blow away the darkness. So, I have to speak to it. I wasn't ready to speak to it just yet. But when you think about it, well, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, let's see what we have here. Let's speak this first. See, the angel is I tell people it's much deeper than you realize. And I can't really get into the real deep stuff because I can't get you past the add subtraction stuff. Now, so why would we believe in Elijah? Well, a lot of people don't. Well, Malachi, by name, that's a good, but I mean, you still could be wrong, right? I mean, it says that's a past or some other time, whatever, or he could be lying and say his name is Elijah. But the angel verifies who he is. That's how powerful the angel is. It verifies. It verifies who the Lamb is too, so you can't make no mistake if you're about truth. I talk about this a little bit here and there. So I'm going to go a little more detail into it now. Show you what I'm talking about. Okay? Because the angel actually speaks about things particular to Elijah. So when you see, so therefore you can look around and say, hey, that has to be him. Because he's doing these things that the angel's talking about. Right? The scriptures wasn't very generic, hazy, or not even mentioned. But you see it with your eye. You see it right away with the angels. So let's look at it. Let's see here. Now those fools, he come telling you that it's black people on the mountain. No, there's no black folks on the mountain plane. Elijah Muhammad said he built the plane off the coast of Japan. And it used Japanese pilots. And one of the reasons, right, because the nuclear, just remember this before it happens, they would take revenge for them being dropped the bombs on them. But they hadn't happened yet. So that's another story. I want to go that a little deeper. When you go and look at the angel keys, right, see where the yellow is right, that's Oriental. The top part is Japanese. And that's if you understand the key, that's what Farrakhan would be. So you break the key and I say, oh, Elijah says that. Oh, another scripture says that. Another scripture says anything where he would be, anything, but it says right there. So that's where he built the plane at, and those are the people that he uses to pilot. It's right there. The angel key revealed that when no other scripture does reveal it. And if it does, it's not clear. You see? Just right, look at it. Oh, wow. That's what he said. So he must be the messenger, because how would he know? Unless Master Farmer told him. And then we see That confirms with the key, so it must be true. It must be the one. Because remember, say he couldn't get it from scripture anywhere. He don't know the key. He don't know the angel key. He didn't break the seals. So he was told that. And then when you get an angel key, it says, "Oh, Master Muhammad would be with the Japanese." I just said that. Where'd he get it from? He got it from his father. His father got it from other scientists. And what they know? They're the ones that filled the book. Think about that one for a while. Because I tell you, that's a major confirmation right there. So, and they distort that. That's why you got to watch these extortion people. They need to be with the Farrakhan. Because Farrakhan's it's black folks said, somebody said it was black. No, that's not true. I was realized from 1775. You know, these Japanese people, in fact, there was a book that was written. I'm not sure it was co-written by Ali or whatever. But anyway, there's a book written, right? And that's, and it tells you about them. Because it's the first time I came in contact with this, I was in Vietnam. I didn't know anything about Malcolm X, Nation of Islam, any of that stuff, Muslim, none of that stuff, right? And they would take and bring all these books, right? And just, I don't know where they got these books from. But they get a whole bunch of books and they just boom and drop it. And I wasn't in the library, I don't think. I don't know where. They just going, I want to read it. So I saw that one. And I didn't know anything about Allah or nothing, right? But I certainly, and it was picked up and it was talking about mother plane and all that stuff. But I had no idea what it was all about, but I remember reading the book. I remember you said it was Japanese pilots and it was built in Japan, right? And it was books about the wheel. And I remember reading that. That's why I didn't know anything about Muhammad or Islam or anything. I remember that book. Why they had that book out? I don't know. But there was a whole bunch of books they dropped. They do to dump them like once a month, I think, or once a week. Just come in. I don't think it was a lot. And that's how I saw it. I never forget that, right? Okay. So there it said right there. Said, "Oh, that's what Elijah said." How did he find out? He didn't break the key here. Because he was told, and that's the angel reveals that. The key tells us that. Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Wait, back up, read this. Also, it says right here that Elijah be told to speak to both the chaff and the wheat. Chaff and the wheat. That's what you have them right here. Saint and the demons, chaff and the wheat. He preached the book. He told him not to separate them. He said, Suleiman would do that. Son of Man would do that. He said, you just preach the book. So somebody sowed chaff amongst the wheat. He said, no, don't you separate. All right, don't you separate them. Just let them go together. There it is right there. If I just massaging this key, because first you got to put the key together. And then you try to figure out who's what, who's where, who's where in there. First you have to find the key. First you have to find the key. Then when I find the key, then figure, okay, who they apply to, who's who, what's what. See what I'm saying? Okay, let's move on. So he's Japanese, plus he's teaching, right? So he's with the mother, that's the mother plane, but that's not the mother, but he was Japanese, so if you understand, the plane was built on the coast of Japan. Anyway, so he's preaching to both, right? See, he's preaching both because fraud, he's here on the mother plane. Let's move on. We'll get to this Obama thing in a minute. And then Elijah departs after in 75, right? So now he goes up to where, so that means God has to be here because that's where he went to, right? So he's sitting there what? His right hand, if you understand the angel key, he's sitting in the right hand, that's what it says. That's what Farrakhan claimed he's at now. We go back here, right? That's why he's calling brothers, because he's at his right hand, but not the Master Muhammad. But they switch places. So it was when Elijah leaves, he goes up here, he takes a set, he sits. So if you understand this here, there's another thing too. See, it says the seven spirits. I'm not going to go into a split. The seven spirits are all golden. How come these ain't golden? These four here ain't golden. Because they got corrupted. See, this represents the inside of them. They're still golden on the outside. So they skin folk. Right? So this one here is white on the inside. Oh, who's this one? He's the one's going to take Elijah's seat. See, they tell you that Aaron would be a devil, demon. See what I'm saying? That's how powerful the angel is. They made it clear he's white on the inside. These other ones, there's something else, but they're not. But this one here, well, he's black. Well, yeah, but he's on the other. Because he's a grafted in, but he's still black on the inside. Still the original on the inside. He's just from another tribe, from Levites. That's why it's like that. These here are demons. And this one specifically, it means he's not exactly Farrakhan. So I'm showing you something. I'm going to get to the main point here. But you see what I'm saying here? That's how you know who these people are. Because you're going to say, Farrakhan didn't at the time that I broke the seals here, I didn't know Farrakhan's father was a devil. I didn't know that. You didn't feel that? But that's, Andrew said it would be. It was. And then when he admitted it, there it was. It was already there. I didn't know that. Right? I got this in 90. And that never came before that. First time I found out when he did this interview, he missed it. See? They was playing off thing about some fair skin Jamaican or something. And the angel said, no, he's a demon. His father's a devil. He's white on his side. You see what I'm saying? That's how you know. He said, yeah, he's got it. This tells you, look, I tell you, this key gives you so much stuff I haven't told you yet. Gives so much information. But I can't get to algebra and trig with you guys because I said he'd go along. Because you can't handle subtraction. Okay, so move on now. So here, Elijah departs, he goes to the right hand. Now, if you know the story about Elias, right? I'm not going to bring it in here, but Elias, he got to sit in Elijah's seat, right? But he couldn't get the spirits that Elijah had. He couldn't get control of them. So give me a double portion of spirit. He said, no, I don't think. He said, if you see me when I depart, right, you'll get it. If you don't, you won't. So he didn't get it. Because they're down here. They're dead. See, remember, this represents death. So the Native Islam put the dead. See, how can you make this up? It put the dead, the death. He killed it, put it dead, killed it. That's what it fell. It was here and then it fell. Elijah departs. Now, all this happened before I broke the seals, and this seal said that's exactly what happened. See the power of it? It said, I said, wow, that's exactly what happened. That's confirmation to me. That says, I look and said, and that's exactly the way it happened. Exactly what happened. In 75. And I broke seals in 90, 15 years later, right? That's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? And so they killed it, and they just is dead. Right? And then it goes a little further. Right? It tells you the one sitting on the white horse, it'd be African. If you read the whole thing, it says this person sitting on the white horse, you have authority over 1/4 of the earth. What earth represents is 4 parts of earth: America, Britain, Russia, and EU. So yeah, this be an African person have authority over one of those. Exactly what happened. And this happened after they broke the seals. But the point is, that's what happened. That Obama, remember, he's not one of us. He's African. He didn't go to the Holocaust. He was president of the United States, 1/4 of the earth. That's how you know Elijah, well, this is right. Okay? And all these other clowns out here with bullshit, you know who they are too. You know what I'm saying? So, Farrakhan sitting in Elijah's seat. Who sat in Elijah's seat? The son of perdition. And he's sitting in Elijah's seat. He's a demon. He's also a horse that the white one that she's riding. Remember? Didn't Farrakhan and him have a relationship? Wasn't Farrakhan calling him the Messiah? You can't make this up, brothers and sisters. He rode Farrakhan right into the White House. Farrakhan got here promoting him to all the black community. Yeah, man, he's the one. He's the Messiah. Can't make this up, brothers and sisters. I tell you, it's much more to it than that. All this information is giving me. I told you so much. All y'all seeing is just a little tip of the iceberg. Look how powerful it is. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what the Angel's Key says. Anybody that's familiar with Angel Key knows I'm not just putting this stuff together. You follow a certain pattern, certain mathematical construct. Then put stuff together. I put it together, because I had that structure. Before I knew anything about Obama, I had that structure already. And then, like I said, there'd be an African. And that Elijah Muhammad said the last president would be a black man. That was a problem. Let's get to Jonah. Let's move on. Okay, now here we get to this fish show again on Sunday. Who's rushing? So let me play this, brothers and sisters.
All praises I do to Allah. Take it or let it alone. But the final leg of this war of Armageddon is when the government becomes so infuriated that they actively come to attack and kill black people, black youth in particular, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the Nation of Islam. And when that happens, these wheels will go into action. They will no longer cloak themselves in clouds. They will no longer position themselves as if they are stars. They will be clearly seen over the major cities of America. All praises I do to Allah. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in his lecture series, The Theology of Time, on July 2nd, 1972, he said, but I say to you, brothers and sisters, on that day, when that plane is seen in the sky over America, make haste and run to some place. Listen to what he says next. There'll be 2 scientists on every 2 blocks, and they'll be guiding you, telling you where to go. Everything has been prepared while we were sleeping to save us. All praises I do to Allah. All praises I do to Allah. And we are taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that these scientists that will be found in pairs of 2 and seen on every 2 blocks, they will ask the people a question. And depending upon the answer that you give, they will send you to one side, or if you give an unsatisfactory answer, they will send you to the other side. See, that's the separation that we told you comes in the day of judgment, where Allah must separate the innocent from the guilty, the righteous from the unrighteous, and those who answered the question properly. they will be taken to protective zones that exist in various places across our planet. And those who answer improperly will be caught up in the destruction that will go down. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that these wheels have bombs and poisonous gas on them. That when they drop their bombs, it drills down a mile deep into the earth and shoots up a mountain a mile high. And when it detonates, it releases a poisonous gas for a 50-mile radius. Right. So for all of you who thought you were smart, there is no outthinking and outsmarting Allah in the destruction of this world. Right. I know some of you, man, I could build a bunker buster. I saw one on Amazon. I can dig a hole and put a shelter in it. I could store up food and go in my basement with a gas mask and I'll be good for a period of time. No, nothing will work except obedience to Allah. All praises I do to Allah. Listen to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said on page.
Okay, brothers and sisters, that's what he says. Now he said Elijah Muhammad said this. I'm going to show you what he really meant. Think about it for a minute. See, that's how stupid they are. Without the angel key, I keep telling you, without the angel key, you don't know. It's just like, well, you don't know. And even with the lessons, right? Because those lessons, those are scientists. So those lessons, that's why I tried to explain the other day, well, one of them talking about actual nuclear explosion. You need angel key, the scripture. You need a certain level for the lessons. That's another issue altogether, right? Let's get to the pure mathematics of it, right? But the angel's also mathematics, okay? So he's saying this, and let's walk this through before I go into it, right? There's going to be two scientists in every two corners, right? And he told you there's going to be a time, if this whole thing, they're attacking us, right? So, but we walk around like, I guess, hey, let's go in Abe Hunt, let's go in, what you got in Walmart. Let's go check out Tiffany's. That's the way it is. We're walking around the corners. But the city's got leveled with earthquakes. And before I forget, I know I'm 76 bucks, so I got to make notes and everything. In my mind, one of the main weapons is weather. He said earlier. He says one of the weapons of a lot of people, earthquakes and tornado, all that kind of stuff. It tries to be one of your weapons, brothers and sisters. Okay, I just got that out of the way, right? But they're attacking us. Earthquakes level the cities. There's millions of blocks. Remember, this all over the United States now, right? Blacks all over the United States, right? There's millions of blocks, but you got two signs for every other block. So it says a million blocks. There's a lot more than that. How many blocks in your neighborhood? Probably just in your neighborhood, you say probably come about 1,000 blocks. Right? They say what? On average, 8 blocks is a mile. If they're going to be on every block, they have to be on all 4 corners. But say they're in all 4 corners, right? There's one corner. So 8 for a mile, 8 blocks, right? So you can come by 800 blocks easily, just in the city. So you say, well, you got 1 million blocks. Well, that means you got 2 million scientists still on every other block out there. Remember, the blocks are 4 square, so they got to be accessible to everybody. But then remember, people got to be walking around because they ain't going to the people. People got to walk past them because they ain't running because they got to ask them a question. But wait a minute, hold it. But we told the scientists can read your mind. So they don't have to ask them a goddamn thing, do they? So something ain't wrong with this whole picture. Because you're on the tab, but you walking around, hey, baby, let's go stop Popeyes, get a chicken sandwich. But Popeyes level because all the cities, most got leveled. And that was looking after trying to catch you, trying to kill you. But you, hey, baby. So how does it work? I mean, put that picture in your mind. How does that work? Because it don't mean that. There's a fool there. I'm going to show you what it means. That don't even make any sense. They can tune in. All the bills are level. You're under attack. There's millions of blocks. Plus the block is 4 square. So they didn't get level. Even if they didn't, right? Still 4 squares. If you're going to meet everybody, right, you gotta have 4 scientists there. You got 8, 2 on each corner, right? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. So I mean, they're attacking all blacks, so they're going to attack the scientists? Standing there? They're not black, they're Japan, Japanese, so we ain't going to mess with them. Kill things in mind, brothers and sisters. Let's get into it. There are 2 scientists. There are 2 sides are 2 witnesses. Syria and Iran. They stand on every 2 blocks. There's blocks right there. Two blocks or 2 blocks. Right? On every corner, rather. They said corners, they said blocks. Which one did you say? Same thing, right? I think he said corner. Let me just go ahead and see how. Somebody, you got. Well, I don't really give it there. You got some toothless person got to say, hey man, you say black girl. I don't worry about those type of people. But I just want to check because I'm at a. What do you say, Chris?
Praises I do to Allah. Take it or let it alone. But the final leg of this war of Armageddon is when the government becomes so infuriated that they actively come to attack and kill black people, black youth in particular, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the Nation of Islam. All praises I do to Allah. Take it or let it alone. But the final leg of this war of Armageddon is when the government becomes so infuriated that they actively come to attack and kill black people, black youth in particular, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the Nation of Islam. And when that happens, these wheels will go into action. They will no longer cloak themselves in clouds. They will no longer position themselves as if they are stars. They will be clearly seen over the major cities of America. All praises I do to Allah. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in his lecture series, The Theology of Time, on July 2nd, 1972, he said, but I say to you, brothers and sisters, on that day, when that plane is seen in the sky over America, make haste and run to some place. Listen to what he says next. There'll be 2 scientists on every 2 blocks, and they'll be guiding you, telling you where to go. Everything has been prepared
two blocks. He said two corners. At any rate, right? It's corners blocks. If you got a problem with that, see you. Anyway, there are two corners, two blocks, every two corners, right? There's two, every, right? And they stand on them, right? Okay, and what happens then? Remember, this time we're under attack. Now, if you understand your key, this doesn't happen until, because it says that in chapter 12, they stood upon their feet. So they stand up on top of the blocks, the corners. Well, right now, that's when they attack. So they be attacking during this time, right? Okay. But see, according to him, what he said, they're attacking, but people just walking casually along and sign say, hey, bro, come here, bro. Let me ask you a question. Okay, well, go for that if you want. Let's move on. And that's what they're attacking at. I'm not going into all a lot of detail here, but people are familiar with angel, because if you're not familiar with this, it's not going to make any sense to you. That's one of the reasons why. Well, anyway, it's an attack here, and during that time, right? See, he divided it two groups, right? Two groups. There's two groups right here. Two groups talking about what happens. One group goes this way, and one group go the other way. And what happens to this group here? One group gets saved, what he says, but another part of the earth, or they say planet, right? We know this is represents Earth here, so they're not there, right? Angel key. So whether Elijah Muhammad got the context, what I'm gonna use not grammar, but the wording, same thing. Exactly what they're talking about there. That's why I showed you previously. And then what happens? It says one is saved, a safe place, and one gets thrown back. He said one gets they're left for destruction. That's what he said. They left back for destruction. That's what happens. Oh man, and then more come back for destruction. And they're just right there, said brothers and sisters. What are we talking about? He reveals all of that. Because with that stuff, when he trying to explain it, it makes no sense at all. It couldn't possibly happen that way. But that's exactly what the angel key says is going to happen. Exactly. Coincidence? No. But they caught my hand here, so like I said, I wasn't going to talk about this. I didn't think it was ready yet. I mean, let me back up. I wasn't going to call attention to it because I've already talked about it. Check that link out. I talked about this several times in the last few years about this silence. Because once silence is broken, that's hell breaks loose. See? Understand? That's when hell breaks loose. I think I missed something on here. Yeah, I did. I don't have them attacking us. I forgot that part. That's when winds blow in the big trees. I think that's good enough to get the point. That's what it's going to happen. That's what I've been saying is going to happen for years. I'm not changing it. Anybody's familiar with Angel Key, I'm not changing it. I made it. Let me look this real quick if I can make that change before I just thought about it and missed it. Hold on. Then I'm going to close up. What did I do here? Where's... No, I got it there. No, I don't. Right. I don't. Come on here. Okay, that's what I missed. I'm gonna do a shortcut. Shortcut method here because I'm not gonna. Hmm. I forgot that part. Let's do it this way here. Okay, then when you get here. Uh-oh. This is here. This is here. Sadness. Okay. And I guess here it is, right? Hold on. Not sketchy, but I'm not gonna take 10 minutes to fix this. Uh, that one. I didn't have to have them attacking us, but just that's the problem. Got that? Well, that's good enough. You get the point. Okay, just down the corner. Right. This is when, because this is at the point where Iran, Shia victorious. The one heaven, they kicked American Britain and forces out. Right, it's up top here. Previous. I think I got that one. Hopefully I messed that one up. Two scientists, yeah. This time they've been victorious. Okay. They had to be victorious for them to be standing on all four corners, or every 2 blocks, right? That's why I say every 2 blocks, because they had to be on top of them. Stand on every 2. Why it says that way? Because before they, okay. Here, then that's when they start attacking us. Okay. So it's happening while they're attacking. That's what Exodus happened during time of war. No victory or defeat. So Suleiman's already came. He's taking control of NOI. That just before they attack. After Iran and Syria is victorious in the Middle East, they kicked American Britain out. That's when they attack us. When this happens, before they do that, I'm gonna do this a more clean way maybe tomorrow. I was just trying to point out what this means as far as he's saying. I think I should just make it a more clean way, because if you're not familiar with Angel Key, well, it's probably not gonna matter anyway. Those familiar, you understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, what's happening is here. Well, I will, because you need to know the sequence. First, this war right here, they're going to be victorious. At that time, that's when Suleiman takes control of NOI. Ancient of Days sets. And then that's when they attack. Because False Israel's going down there. See, I'm not showing that kind of detail here. So I'm just jumping past steps. So I'm gonna do that. I think I'll do it. It won't take long to do it, but I'm gonna do it right now. If not, I'll put that together properly. Anyway, so they're attacking us. Right? So at that point, right, when winds blow, right, and then you got the wind that separation. Say, okay, you go this way and you go the other way. Some other place on the other side of the planet. That's what he's saying. Not there. Someplace else. So you're not there anymore. And then one is saved and one is thrown back into destruction. That's it. I'll do a more cleaner one with all the detail. But that's what it's saying, brothers and sisters. That's why I showed you previously all those things telling Angel Key explains all this stuff. So that's what's explaining that too. So it's not like, if you take it literally like he's saying, it doesn't make any sense. It couldn't happen like that. They're just showing you, verifies logically what it said, because that's what Angel Key says. And anybody's been familiar with it, and I've been saying this for years. It's never right here. I ain't call it the two rich scientists and all that. I ain't call it that. But that's exactly what's happening. Right? Seer becomes victorious, right? They attack us. Right? But before they attack, so they become victorious, that's when some tradition cast out. Someone takes over the nation, warns the people what's going on, tell them where they need to flee to and everything else. He said that part. Well, he did say flee or something, I don't know. And that's when they attack, because you got to be told about the flee before they attack. Otherwise, you have to know it's coming. They have some idea. So they're told, because where to flee to. They'll be told where to flee to. And some are going to listen, some ain't. Some are going to hesitate. Well, might not make it. But they have to know where to flee to, so that's where he reveals to flee to. And they attack. Right? And then two groups separated into, if we get separated, one goes this way and that way, right? And then the other one's thrown back into the destruction, one was saved. That's exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what I've been saying. That's what I think. Look at that link. That's it there. That's the pattern I've been given. So then they said, well, you got that from Message Black Man. Well, no, I didn't. That was even in there. But they called my hand by talking about this silence, and they don't know what they're talking about. So I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. Let me see if I got something else here. That's what it's talking about. Okay. Look at it real quick and then. It's called the four corners of the earth. Called 4 blocks. And then two ways to stand, it would be 2. Why is it 2 of them? They said, why had to be 2? Okay. Why it had to be every 2 corners? That's 4 altogether, right? There's 2, every 2, there's 2 and 2. Why did you say where's the corner? Because they're talking about the angel key. Well, they ain't talking about the angel key. They're talking about this, but the angel key explains what they're talking about. Put that away, because they don't know the angel key. That's why I said that away. That perfect fit. Okay, we move on, brothers and sisters. They just said. You don't have to guess the angel key, brothers and sisters. If I was guessing, why would anybody listen to me? They had to guess the Farrakhan, those folks over there. Then they guessing, they lying, they guessing. It's around the corners. Because we follow somebody's guessing. Why would you follow somebody's guessing? They don't know. That means blind leading the blind. Liar, that's just bad, because he's telling you going to place and You know he's sending you to the wrong place. The other one, you don't know where he's sending you. Either way, you end up lost. You don't need to guess. If you study, apply mathematics, you need to guess. Okay? And this is a particularly interesting one. Right? Couldn't be explained to you this way. I still can't get it. Because you ain't getting 2 plus 3 equal 5. You ain't getting that yet. So how you gonna get 3 times 5? How you gonna get the derivative of x to the 5th? They don't get any of that stuff. Trigonometry. I give you an example right here. How powerful this is. How it shows stuff about Elijah. It says that he would be with the Jew in Japan, with the Japanese. I tell you, there's a lot of stuff in here, brothers and sisters. There's no one to talk to. Like I say, you're walking alone. That means you're always talking alone. You have to talk to yourself because you can't talk to you. I keep pointing out, it's not about ability. If you had ability, well, they wouldn't send it. Why would they give you a scripture that you have no ability to do anything with? You had ability. You just don't give a damn. That's why I said the word worthy. Ability between worthy and guilty. I mean, we're worthy and ability. You had the ability to do something. Worthy means you put the work in. You just did the work in. That's the worthy. Ability means you're sitting there, looking. You got the ability to do something, but you just say you ain't doing anything with it. You got a lot of money that's just sitting up in the bank. You ain't doing anything with it. Energy management. But that lamb did something with it. He invested it. That's how it happened. He had to budget it. So he said he put all the budget, all the money. So, okay, I'll put all the money on this. Everything. He was like, oh man, I'll put this a 10% slice on this. You got your pie, right? He said, okay, I'm 10% for this, 50% for that, 20% for this. Man, I ain't got too much left, man. I got about 1%. Okay, I'll put 1% on the angel. Get 1% result. Once I realized right here, I knew it had to be 100%. That's why it says in Jonah, it says everything was working for him because he was hit when he had that vine, what they call it. It was covered. I forgot what they. Anyway, he was covered with what they call it, a vine. They call it something. What they mean is he late. Everything was cool. He was comfortable. Everything was working for him. They don't call it a vine. I forget what they call it. And then overnight, it went away, and he was exposed to the hot sun. Hot sun beat on him. And that's the way it's been. Like I said, I touched that angel. I was doing American Dream. I was doing Elijah Muhammad's Message. Mini mansion. Plenty of money. Wasn't no issue, any of that. Had several houses. I was buying, investing, buying and selling houses and stuff. I was rolling. Now I stumbled upon an angel, boy. Whoa. Good thing I see that coming. I've probably been a fool and probably said, man, I ain't messing with that thing. Everything was going fine. American Dream, except I had a demon wife, boy. Woo. When I touched that angel, boy, she went off. The worm, they said worm, sent a worm that ate up the thing overnight. That's what happened. Literally, one day I had it, next day it was gone. And Florida, where it said he went to a place where it was hot sun. That's what it says right in Jonah. Yeah, because they set me up. They were trying to put me in jail, all kinds of things. She went off. Exactly what happened. But she don't have no part of that angel. And it's more towards it now. I'm giving a simple version. 100%. That's what it takes. If you can't do it, leave it alone. Don't waste time. I mean, a fool would be someone that loves this world's life, but they invest a little bit of money in the next one, which ain't going to never give me anything. So you might as well invest 100% in this and get it. Enjoy it while you got it. Get 100% of this. If this you, don't try to straddle the fence. Because you straddle the fence, you're on one side, you got one leg on one side of the fence, one leg on the other side of the fence. You know what's happening right there? You're going to get a boy, you're going to get a pole right up your ass. So those who seek to save his life will lose it. Those who seek to lose it will gain it. That's what I'm telling you. 100%. Can't do 100%. Leave it alone. Go and enjoy yourself. Get the most out of it. Because you ain't going to get none of that. So why do it half-ass? Go ahead and enjoy it. That's what's going on. I can tell you, that's exactly what's going on. It says no one was worthy. Because they didn't want to do that. You can't hold on to this. It said those who seek to save their life will lose it. That means if you try to hold on to this, you're going to lose everything. Those give it up. They will gain it. So if you choose to stay on the first floor, if flood's coming, you're going to die. If you leave the first floor, you ain't got nothing on the second floor, nothing up there. But your life is up there because the water's going to drown everybody on the first floor. I don't care what they got. They got $1 million, $1 billion. They're on the first floor, they're going to drown. I ain't going to the second floor, man. I ain't know what's up there yet. Well, life is up there. That's what's up there. Okay? And once you get up there, now you're alive. Now you can make your heaven. Or you can stay right there on the first floor. You say, hey, man, I ain't letting this go. Okay. It's as simple as that. If you don't get it, that's what's happening, bro. Since I'm going to let you go. I'm not crying everything because I made that choice. I knew I always been that type of person. I mean, to me, it just made sense to me. Like I said, I'm pretty much an orphan. Father going at 14, mother going at 9. And nobody, I was dumb as hell, didn't know anything. My little sister had nothing, but she was little, she was a year younger than me. We knew nothing about anything. We was about two dumbest people on the planet. When he came in, I didn't know what the hell that was. We didn't know anything. Literally, when I say that, we didn't know anything. And so I said, well, and my so-called relatives, they didn't give a damn, and we were staying with her aunt. And the only reason why she did, because the state gave her money to take care of us. And she never did a damn thing for us. Nothing, zero. Just got her apartment, and she stopped working, her husband stopped working, and they were living off that and getting drunk and everything off that money. So we had a place to stay, that was about it. Come and go when I wanted to. No. And so when I got 17 to 18, I was into that. Because you can get on money, I was out there. I went on at 17. My sister stayed. She don't know, 18, they threw her ass out. They wouldn't get her money for it no more. I said, I need some guidance. I need somebody to tell me something. I don't know anything. My mother was a hardcore Baptist. She passed, she was in her early 20s, cancer from this damn taking that polio shot. Only one in the family ever had cancer. There's no history of cancer in my family at all, none, zero. These are my mother's side, I don't know about father's side, but none, zero. She's the only one. She got a lot of brothers and sisters, she's the only one. Early 20s. I was a teenager when I was born. Yeah, I was a teenager when I was. Yeah. Oh, Alzheimer's slipping in. Yeah, I was a teenager when I was born. Oh boy, that's a good one. He must be the Christ, man. He was born a teenager. She was a teenager when I was born. I didn't do anything. I really wasn't in Christianity. My father wasn't either, because he was converting. I didn't know. He was converted to Islam. I didn't know it just before he passed. So Ma told me when she saw I do, hey, you that what your dad was doing. I didn't know. He took me to the temple one time. I knew what that was about. I was about 12 years old. I had no idea. And he was converting, and I knew things would change. He wasn't eating that because we grandfather pork. Oh boy, he put the pea in pork. It made so much pork. I'm telling you. And then all of a sudden we stopped eating it. I know why. I was glad because I never wanted to eat anyway. I mean, you ever ate pork brains and eggs? Yeah, that was one of his favorites. He used to call me, hey boy. Well, oh, I know what he called me, boy. I knew it was gonna. I was like his taster. I hate that stuff, boy. So I remember my mother, she was like, so I went to the Bible because they kept throwing me out of church all the time. In school, I could be asked questions. Why do white folks all that stuff? Why everything, Anyway, I went to that and I started going reading in there. And so I just started doing what it says in there. I said, I gotta have some guidance. Somebody gotta tell me something. They stop eating pork, I stopped eating pork. I got a lot of flack from that in the Army. I go to the mess hall, I asked them, where's that? 'Cause I ain't know pork from bean pie. I didn't know anything on the bean pie. I didn't know it was meat. I asked the guy name was, what was they call him? Tricks? I forgot what they call his name. Cooksey. Negro. He was a mess hall cook, whatever. I say, Cooksey, is that pork? What do you mean, man? Everybody was porking on? He was gonna go off on me. I didn't know difference. It was just meat. I started doing things like that, right? And that's and I'm here. I said, well, I'm gonna follow that. It's more detail I'm saying. No one else tell me anything, but I never did anything half-assed. So I'm using use that be my guide. And I need to say this part. I did that for a while. And then I realized, I was thinking one day, I says, trying to go through all the things I thought I knew. I realized I knew a damn thing because I liked mathematics, right? I said, damn, all the stuff that I think I know, I can't prove any of this shit. I can't prove any of it. So I got rid of the Bible. I got rid of everything. I said, I'm not going to believe anything unless I can prove it. I'm going to get rid of everything that everybody's ever told me. I ain't believing nothing anybody told me. Where I'm getting this shit from. I'm not going to believe anything so I can prove it. I damn near had a nervous breakdown because then I was like walking around like, you walking around, you got all these clothes on, it's 10 degrees outside. All of a sudden you take all your clothes off. Damn, man. You're going to freeze it. That's what happened. I got totally confused. I didn't know what to do. I had no idea. I said, there's something wrong. And I said, if I can't prove it or logically or mathematically, I'm not going to. And that's my process. Right? That's what I do like I do now, because I'll be doing the guessing and carrying on. I can't prove it. I don't really bother with it. And it turns out everything of truth can be proven. But all the bullshit they gave us is all bullshit. And if you ask yourself, that's why I tell you to have faith. Oh, have faith. Okay, what if you're in Hindu land? They tell you have faith too. So is that a lot of bullshit? Their faith is different from yours. How you know which one's right? Have faith. Fuck that shit. Prove it. Get the fuck out of my face. And that gets me mad. It really does. Especially the our people. They got our people believing in bullshit. Hell, none of this shit is real. And in America talking like they're the most righteous people on the planet. Evil as hell. Oh, they're doing genocide and everything else. And like what they did to us, like, what was Christianity? What's the history of it? Murder, rape, incest, terrorism. They terrorized us for 40 years. How you maintain that? They walk around like they're so holy. And fuck all that, man. Wartime. Yeah, they're going to attack us like that fool said. That'd be the biggest mistake they ever made. Let me close out here, brothers and sisters. Mm-mm. Oh, this is what I talked about yesterday. I'll see how far I go with this. Maybe I'll do some of it. Probably I left this in here.
According to AI, listen to this. They said the statement, there was a silence in heaven for about half an hour, comes from the book of Revelation in the Bible, specifically Revelation chapter 8, verse 1, and describes a moment of profound stillness. In heaven, statement, there was a silence in heaven for about half an hour, comes from the book of Revelation in the Bible, specifically Revelation chapter 8, verse 1, and describes a moment of profound stillness. In heaven, after the Lamb, Jesus, breaks the seventh and final seal of a scroll. This silence is widely interpreted as a solemn pause and a moment of awe, reverence, and anticipation for the powerful divine judgments and events about to unfold, acting as the calm before the storm of the trumpet judgments. So we are at that time, brothers and sisters. We know that our minister was promised by his teacher that he had one more thing to do. And once that one more thing was complete, he would be permitted to see his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, face to face. Now, you can call us crazy if you want to, but in just a few days, you will run across everything that we shared with you this morning. Previous generations had to wait years and decades, but this current generation only stay alive for a couple of days, and you will run across everything that was shared. Our only salvation is to fly into the bosom of Allah, connect yourself with Him and His messenger, or suffer the consequences. May Allah bless us with the light of understanding.
And see what he's doing there, trying to scare the people, because I've been telling them all that back for years, but specifically in the last few weeks, right, since the war started, right? So you guys say all this stuff will happen soon. Like I said specifically, in fact, this week, we say Wednesday, Tuesday, this week and last week, says you're going to see this happen in the next few days. All of a sudden they say, well, wait, why you just not mention this now? Why you just mention this now? Plus, where you getting it from? Where you getting this from? Because you can't be getting it from Farrakhan, because Farrakhan told us shut up. You talking to God yourself? Oh, bullshit. They're getting it from me. We're trying to see if things start happening, right? That's their last ditch method. If things start happening, confuse you, run that direction. Because I talked about that before. I've had other people talk about it too, right? Be careful what direction you run into. We want to make sure they have the right direction. So he's confused. No, God said, don't run the Farrakhan. He said, no, run the Farrakhan. See, you get it? They're trying to counter that. Because they work for the devil too. That's the last ditch community. I said, don't run over to Africa. Don't run here. That's why I said specifically, no. When you see this happen, you see the point? Because he's saying, yeah, it's going to happen. But you run the Farrakhan. Don't run over there. Because what else? He don't say the other place, do he? He say, run. See, so that default. He said, don't run over here. Because that's exactly what I said. Go check out what I've been saying the last couple of weeks. I said, that's what. I said, this happens, it's going to happen very soon. It's going to happen very quick. Very quick. We need people need to know where to go to. And that's what Farrakhan's whole message is to get you to think, to implode. Future. Be in panic. Yeah, well, you can go for it. That's his business. I'm doing my job. Now I'm gonna go through this very quickly, bro. Since I've talked about it yesterday, you can go look at the presentation. It's also a full presentation on this, right? But this is one. This is the angel, what you call Revelations. So one like a lion has 6 wings, one like a calf 6 wings, one like a face of man 6 wings, one like an eagle 6 wings. Then you got the 7 spirits, right? 3 of them are corrupt because raping everything else, right? The top part of each one is gold. I'm gonna show you the next one, I believe. Okay, well, this how you put them together to develop the angel key. Put them together, right? And then the 7 spirits, and you complete it with that. And that's the angel key there. Right? Then you got to figure out who's all these wings, what all that represent. Do I do anything here? It's not doing anything. You see, now I go and figure out, okay, in this case right here, this 6 wings, this was represent. Satan's God as well. Look at the next one here. It is silence. Okay. So here it is. Now, when they talk about Ezekiel's will, this is what he's talking about. Mother plane don't look like a calf, like a lion. They're talking about the will, Adam's will. They control all the nations. Powerful Adam would be. Even the Quran says it. God can make out when they get loose. Nobody be able to stop them but myself. That's the will Ezekiel saw, a dreadful will, because they have control all the nations, at least 500 years. So how is that? Well, Britain had domination over the Middle East and India. That's it. India, Asian, right? Africa, Europe had control over Africa, had colonized all Africa. Is that a coincidence? And then all this, where's communism at? The communist countries over here. And they got that from Russia. Russia had ideological control over China, Vietnam, Korea. And then here, America got control of us. Original nation. Who's ruling the whole affair? Well, it's Israel. We're under their wings. And these 2 crowns, this is Shia, and what they didn't take part in that. The original white skin. Master Muhammad. Okay, so we're going to go to this silence quickly, brothers and sisters. Now, when you go to here, I'll go to the next page. Now, it's talking about the 4 horsemen, right? It says, the first was white horse, this is white one, right? And it says, I heard something, and I heard. Let me do something real quick, brothers and sisters. I should have done that. I don't know why I didn't, so let me do this real quick. Okay, leave it there. Okay, I do. Let's underscore this, brother, sister. See, you the first year I heard something. Right? Yeah, I heard we opened and I went open one. The first seal, I heard something. Right? Okay. For the next one. Second one, right? I heard something. The second one, you heard something. Third one, I heard something. Right? Every time I was sitting, hear something. The fourth one, I heard something. Okay? Keep that in mind now. When you get on the fifth one, you don't hear anything. That's the silence, brothers and sisters. So the silence will occur between the fifth seal and the sixth seal. Because you go to the sixth one, same thing, you don't hear anything. Here, that's still the fifth, still part of the fifth. We get down to six down here. Six, right? You don't hear anything. So the silence is between the fifth and sixth seal. What happens on the fifth seal? I'm not going into detail. Fifth seal is when Syria is taken out. It says Iran has already been taken out, right? They already attacked for 8 years. And then it says, once you've been taken out, then I'm going to action. See? Because they said, well, how long before you going to do something? He says, well, I ain't going to do that until Syria goes down. Syria just went down, right? Okay. And then it says there be silence. That's silent. And when the silence is broken, right? When the sixth seal, right? What happens then? That's when all hell breaks loose. The first thing it says, great shaking, that's the war. War continues. Silence, then the war continues. That's a shaking. So this silence will be broken when the war resumes. First thing. Right? Make a little bigger than them clothes. You can see that at all. Shaking first, that's the war resuming, and then some kind of black, that means Suleiman. Let me show each one here. Shaking here it is right there, war. It's America and Britain, there's war with Iran and Syria. It falls Israel. That's a shaking. They're defeated. They kicked out of the Middle East. That's one heaven. Right? At the same time, sun become black as sack over here. Why? Because that's the NOI, right? They come together. That's why sun becomes black. That's what he's saying. So at that time, when the war started, that's what I showed earlier. That's when Suleiman takes over the NOI. It's before they attack. That's what I was showing you earlier. I probably just got this. I forgot I had this in there. Right? And you see it turns blood here. The moon turns blood. Outside over there. The power is broken. It's bloody over there. Because they fight in this war too. They fight against Iran. That's why it turned blood. I never talked about that before, but that's a lot of stuff I haven't talked about. That's why it says the moon became blood. Because the bloodbath takes place over there. So he's fighting against Iran. Okay? And lose. So the dragon's taken out and its angels. Okay? Then they attack. That's when the fig tree is thrown this right. Remember, because false Israel called the fig tree is unripe figs. And then they're attacking all blacks at times. So the African blacks, on Visa, they unite together and fight back. That's what's happening. So whenever open seventh seal occurred, silence in heaven is half an hour. That's a silence. Silence where we are right now, the pause. As soon as this pause over, all hell breaks loose. The half an hour is not a time frame. But it's about to happen any day now. They can tell you that. It happens. All those things I told you about happening. That's the silence. and their ass is cooked. That happens. Because Farrakhan and his demons are cast down. The thrones are cast down. Okay? And then that's when the four winds. Got it, brothers and sisters? That's the silence. That's it. I was keeping a low on that because we're right at the point, and I know they're going to do everything they can. They might try to do some things where they can't do anyway because I don't want to confuse the issue. Because I already talked about this. I said right now, I've been saying indirectly that this is going to happen. I just didn't say the silence part. I just said the fact that I kind of played off like, but go check that link. I've been talking about this so people can say, oh, I mean, he just made, no. Right now, I got to be very careful what I say because this, everything's about to blow. It's a very critical time, brothers and sisters. But they put it, well, I don't know, maybe it was meant to be. They kind of called my hand, but I wasn't expecting that. But I guess I should have, though. Because what he's saying, everything's about to happen. That's what I've been saying. I'm talking about the pause, but I didn't say anything about specifically silence. And there's another reason why I'm not saying too much about that. But anyway, I'm saying enough. Okay. So people say, oh, he meant, oh, no, go look at the link. I put in there, I'll put some more links in there when I do this. I'll probably do a reductions, more links. And I talk specifically about this. About the pause that would happen just before sixth seal blow. Right between, after the fifth one and the sixth one. The fifth one is about Syria taken down. Very clear, very detailed, not watch the weather. Okay? But they call my hand, and I really don't, I'm kind of uneasy right now, being as specific as I am. But you don't tell your enemy exactly your game plan. If they ain't stupid. You don't tell your enemy exactly about your game plan. A few other things I ain't saying right now. That's it, brothers and sisters. Okay, I'm not going to get into this. I'm going to let it go. Here's the war in heaven. Well, work. Do I do this? No, hold on. Let me just, okay, I'll do a little of this. So war in heaven, Michael's match from Muhammad, and his angels watch the dragon. Now, I want to say a couple things, brothers and sisters, but I ain't going to say it. A couple things I really want, I can't say it. Because a couple things going to happen right now, I just can't tell you, because if I do, they would try to stop it. But you got enough. All you need to know right now, this war's going to resume. They're going to get out. They're going to attack. Before they attack, pay attention to the Nation of Islam, what happened to Farrakhan. That you need to pay attention to, because that's going to tell you what to do. That's your final instruction. Can't give it to you right now. That's the problem. We'll get instructions then. But somebody asked me a while back, where are we going to flee to? I said, why are you asking that? The devil was going to do that. I said, okay, we're going to flee to Alabama. We're going to flee to Birmingham. Well, the devil already be waiting for you there. You already know where you're going to be fleeing to. I can't tell you that until they actually, just before they attack. They ain't got time to set up an ambush for you. I got to be very careful here, brothers and sisters. Anyway, here's Michael's angels, war with the dragon, and dragon war with it, and it was defeated. And dragon's angels thrown out. And the accuser of our brethren was cast down. Who's the accuser of us? Farrakhan. Said the accuser of our brethren was cast down. I'll tell you what's going to happen at the same time. I spoke this specifically in the last few weeks. All this stuff is not new. Just go look what I've been saying the last few weeks. I got a whole thing about the accuser of our brethren. Isn't he cast down? Cast out. Move on, brothers and sisters.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
Six. I will send him against an hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge, to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. 7. Howbeit he meaneth not so, neither doth his heart think so, but it is in his heart to destroy and cut off nations not a few. 8. For he saith, Are not my princes altogether kings?
Now, wait a minute. Excuse me, but see, this Messiah talking here. Farrakhan claims he's a Messiah, so he's schizoid or something? Because it's like two different personalities here. So we read about the Messiah, man. He come to kick ass. He ain't forgiving a goddamn thing. He said to come to judge and trample his enemies down for vengeance. The devil is done to you, but Farrakhan says he's a Messiah. Is it on crack or what? I mean, you know, which one is the Messiah here? And they say Elijah, last one. No matter after Elijah, right? Wow, sent a messenger. He prepared a way for me. Oh, he's preparing a way for somebody. Who? The messenger of the covenant. Oh, no, Elijah, last one. No, after him, he's a eternal leader of the nation of Islam. He never said anything like that. That was read Elijah from 775. Never said anything like that. But what about Aaron? Oh, so they stopped right at Aaron. And said, Farrakhan's Aaron. But what did Aaron do after Elijah departed? Totally ass. He got people in trouble. He turned the nation around. Made a laughing stock, robbed it, had worked with golden calf and all that kind of stuff. That's what Aaron did, and then that's it. What about Joshua, who really was a follower of Elijah, and that really represented Elijah, and he took the people home. He's the messenger of the covenant, because what's the covenant? To go home. So it'd be somebody who's the messenger of the covenant, somebody go take it from Farrakhan, we ain't going nowhere, so it's calling God a goddamn liar. God said, that's the covenant. Going home. It says the covenant. He's the messenger of the covenant. What's the covenant? Go look up the covenant. Look up the Abraham covenant. We go home to Arabia between Euphrates and the river Egypt. But Pharaoh said we ain't going nowhere. But God said that's his word. So who's the liar there? So but they don't talk about that. They talk about the Abraham vision part about we want 100, 400 years, all that kind of stuff. But that verse right next to it, the part of the book, this being the other, high part of it, they don't read me. And they don't And they never mentioned the covenant either. And never mentioned Joshua either. Stop right there, Aaron. So what happened to the rest of it? Farrakhan. See, he's not seed Abraham. Father's the devil. Here it is right here. See here, they mention this part here, 12. The 6, but right here, here's the covenant. In the same day, the Lord made a covenant. Mention the covenant. He's going to mention this covenant, saying, to thy seed, I will give this land from the river Egypt to the great river Euphrates. That's the covenant. But he don't mention him. Plus, he calling God lies. God says, my covenant is my word. Even if we say, Friday, we ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. But he's not see Abraham. He said, to thy seed, thy seed. Here it is, brothers and sisters. I hope that's it. I think that's it. Okay, this is straight. I'm gonna let it go after this.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
Now that's the word he has for the devils. He loved them. Love America, who raped us, beat us, terrorized us 20 years. Raped us, pissing our mouths, forced to eat shit and everything else. He said, forgive that. I don't want you to have America. Remember, that's the way he feels about devils, white folks. Right? Now how do you feel about you, the ones that follow him, made him rich, made everything? How do you feel about you? Let's see how he feels about you. Because he will forgive them. No matter all that shit, they did the worst Holocaust, worst anything to anybody for 40 years. And you have to, it takes 24 hours, terrorists, 24/7, 365, 40 years. It takes constant terror, no let up to maintain a system like that. Constant terror. And our women suffer more because they kept them total terrorized, right? Total locked into terror. No help from us, anybody. In fact, some of us help the devils. Our women, he just forgive that? It never happened? You don't want to see nothing happen to them? They shouldn't pay for that? Just fuck up our women. Oh, I don't care. Well, we can still be buddies. I don't think they really meant it. Yeah, you kicked my mom, you raped her, and you're pissing them out, but I think you can be a good person. I think you'll be all right, man. Yeah. Really? Because if we don't, but the command says, do unto them as they've done to you. That's what God said. But you said, no, we don't want to do that. But you're supposed to be in submission to the will of Allah. You say, I'm in submission to the will of Allah. And I'm following Elijah Muhammad's message. And Muhammad's Muhammad said they cannot be reformed. He said they cannot be reformed. He said they'd be removed from the face of the earth. He said they're 100% wicked. But no, you know better. Oh, no, I don't want to see that. But say, okay, but how do I feel about you now? The one that made him rich. Because he destroyed the nation. So he's talking about him and Wallace destroyed it. They took everything down, raising falls, they destroyed it. They got rid of the name and everything, started things called Belialians. They took all the money, all the assets, and left the Bleeds with nothing. We worked hard for that. And I sold 300 papers a week. We worked hard for that. For everything that Eisenhower built, banks, stores, housing complexes. Y'all got rid of all that and counted the money and then and left us with nothing. See? So, and who's responsible for that? You and Ross was. Ross, you talking about that he's your brother, but he went to his grave hating his father, shitting on his father. Said his father was a liar. He wasn't no messenger. Said Matt Muhammad was a trickster, was a joke. And you was right sitting with him, they were saying all that stuff. But you were saying it too. Okay, so let's see what he has to say about you. Let's see what he has to say about his beloved devils. Because remember, you're a devil. Your father's a devil. Let's see what he has to say about the believers about, see what they have to say about them. And this is what Matt Farmer says. He says, Matt Farmer says, it's impossible to reform devils. That's the lessons. They're 100% evil. He can't wait to destroy them. That's what. But that's not what Farrakhan said. I love America. I want to stay here. I want to make white folks good. I don't want America destroyed. I want to forgive America. Man, this you say is the God. Matt Farmer, y'all send out two different messages here to me.
"49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? 50. But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. 52. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. 53. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law."
That sound like that's Messiah talking. You sound Farrakhan? That's the real Messiah talking here. But perhaps he's Messiah. You get a mind maker or something. Now, he was Farrakhan. Now, if nobody say about the devils how I feel about America, white folks. Let's read how I feel about you. Keep in mind now, he's the one who destroyed the Nation of Islam, Henry Wallace. Took all the assets, took the money, ran, never apologized, never returned the money. Keep that in mind.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother. That's real.
Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right.
We owned buildings. We owned farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
Let the worms eat their ass. That's how I feel about you. Forget about the fact that he's the one that, when you was alive, he killed you. See, but you ain't putting up steaks on his plate. So you ain't putting up big rings on his finger. That's the problem. He said both sides, male and female. Both sides. Male and female. Don't forget about the point that you got the females out there doing fundraisers for him because he can't get the males to do anything. So he pimping the females so he can travel around the world, big old rings on his finger. That's why he got that damn cancer. Robbing the nation, you curse with a curse. That's what I think about you. But for the devil, oh man, I don't have y'all. I love you. I want to stay here. Matter of fact, Elijah Muhammad said, you fools want to stay here. But no, I know best. I know better than Farrakhan. I know better than Elijah. I know better than Master Muhammad. I want to stay here. I love the devils. Think that I can reform. I want to reform. But for you, I would ram kiss, eat your ass. That's what he got for you. The real Farrakhan stand up. There he is. Stinking dog Farrakhan. Spring Elijah's name on his lying shit. Because we got a Scientology for you, which is modern day Catholicism. You got a cross for a symbol. What the hell you think it is? And shit. That's all he got for you. But he sprayed fragrance of Elijah on it. See, to get your attention. This had nothing to do with Elijah, none of it. See? Or fragrance of Elijah, see, rose smell, rose look, rose texture. When you get a hold to it, you got nothing but a handful of shit. That's Farrakhan. I got $5,000, tell me I'm lying. I $5,000 for years. Just show me one verse that proves he all you say is the Messiah, all that kind of stuff you say. One verse they can't. Still got my $5,000. No one stepped up yet. Because they know that's the truth. Yeah, that's what he does. Use Elijah to pull you in. And all he got is shit Scientology for you. Shitting on Elijah Muhammad, Master from his teachings. What are you doing? Shitting on it. It's easy to prove. Okay, I'm closing out, brothers and sisters. That's what I'm going to go.